Hello everyone. Our project is titled Mixed Reality for Visualizing the Structure of Organic Compounds using Microsoft HoloLens under the guidance of Professor S.P. Shinde sir and the team consisting Karishma Agarwal, Jeevya Ballal and me, Faizan Akhtar. Organic chemistry is one of the topics which is not seen as easy subject by many students, teachers and researchers too. So, using the technology mixed reality, we are trying to make the subject less complex by making it more interactive and human-friendly way of teaching, as three-dimensional interaction with the compounds and molecules would give it another way of learning. Our project has four main units, and those are Unity Editor, Euphoria Engine, Visual Studio, and HoloLens. JV and Karishma will explain you about Unity Editor and Euphoria Engine, and I will be talking about Visual Studio, and then we'll see the demonstration of our project on HoloLens.
So this is the basic block diagram for our project, and it includes various components like 3D asset creation tool like Blender, Visual Studio, audio clips, and images and textures, external data sets, mixed reality toolkit, also the HoloLens toolkit, and the most important component of them all is a 3D app development called Unity. So I'll brief about the Unity engine. So this is what our Unity setup looks like for our project. So this on the left side is the project hierarchy, which includes components like image target, methane, propane, benzene for every particular 3D structure of the molecule. And it also contains the mixed reality play space and the mixed reality toolkit. So the mixed reality toolkit is basically, which is also known as the Holly toolkit. So it's a package which helps or supports us with various concepts that we have used in our project, like spatial perception, proximity, cursor detection, interaction grapple, and many more. So it allows for transition of all of these concepts into our project. And image target methane. So this basically relates to another component which is called FORIA, which would be explained in the further section, the next section. So here, if you can see, this is a section which includes all of the databases in our project. So we have a few databases in our project, and out of that, selected the image track database, and out of that, we've chosen this particular image tag. So this right here is the image target that we have chosen, and we have overlaid our 3D structure methane over this image target. So this is our methane structure, and we need to write these C# scripts for this structure. So this particular script is for, and this is just an example for C# script. So this is the bounding box, which enables the interactions to be possible. So whenever the user is able to see this particular structure and he wants to interact with it, he's going to make certain gestures. These gestures have to be detected by this bounding box. So this is one important C# script. Spline tooltip is a kind of tooltip that we've used in order to provide information, extra information about the particular 3D structure to the end user. Now, before all of this is done, and there's one integral and one very important thing that needs to be done, which is to set the build setting, and it is important for every Mixreality project. We need to do a ton of configurations over here in this particular screen, as well as the next screen. So we enable our XR settings, which makes virtual reality and Euphoria integration possible in our project. And also about the Euphoria configuration. This is the only possible way of integrating Euphoria in our project is to add an app license key. So all of the image targets that we use in our project are available from the Euphoria configuration database. So it provides us two elements, which is the Euphoria target manager and the Euphoria engine. And the Euphoria engine works hand in hand with the Unity engine for rendering of these 3D carbon structures. And also, the screen that you see is called the Unity debugger. So in case we want to check if our program, our code runs fine, and we do not directly want to deploy it on the HoloLens, we can check on this debugger as well. We just need to press the play icon right here, and it's gonna start the camera for us. Whatever we do on the HoloLens can also be seen here. So this was just a brief about the Unity tool that we have.
So the next key element of our application is the Vuforia engine. Now Vuforia is a software development kit which helps in recognizing and tracking planar images and 3D images in real time, which is essentially what we'll be needing for our application, because once an image target is recognized, it needs to be overlaid with a 3D model that can be manipulated with. So we need to log into the Vuforia's developer portal for two main reasons. One, we need to acquire the license key that we'll be needing in Unity, and second, we're going to need a database wherein all the image targets will be uploaded and imported to our Unity application. Now, image targets are nothing but images that Vuforia engine detects, tracks, and extracts features out of. So every time Vuforia engine extracts features from a particular image, after recognizing it, it will compare those features with a known target in the database, and once these features match, we can seamlessly overlay our 3D models on the recognized content. This is what the page looks like. There are two main tabs that we need to keep in consideration: License Manager to get the license key, and the Target Manager from where we'll get the database. Now, in order to get the license key, all we need to do is go to the Get Development Key option. From here, we can add a license name that we need. So let's say if I have project and I confirm. So from the list of license keys available, look for the license key that you've created by the name. And this is the license key that we get. We can simply copy this and paste it in Unity. So this is where we get our license key. Now the next thing that we need is to upload our image targets onto a database and import the database as a whole. So you need to create a database, for which you go to the Target Manager, click on Add Database, give your database name, let's say project, and create the database. It has to be selected device by default. So now you look for the newly created database, which is project in my case. Now here we can see it has no targets yet. So what we need to do is we need to upload our image targets one by one, as many you need. So let's say I click on a single image. I browse for, say, target 1. You need to give the width, which can later be altered. For now, I'm just giving 1. Once the target is uploaded, we need to look for one thing that is a very important part, which is the rating. Now, since the status is processing, now once the status is active, you need to see what the rating is. Here, the rating, this particular image has no rating. So you can go to your target and you can click on show features. So this particular part will show the features of your image. Now we need to look for an image that has a higher rating. Based on the features, the rating is assigned by the Vuforia engine. So here we also see that this says, based on here under augmentable, we have no star rating. Let's add another image target and compare it with this one. So I add another target, say target 2. I give the width 1. I add it. Now target 2. Now image target 2, we can see it has 4 stars rating. So if we go here and we click on show features, we can see that this particular image has a lot of features in it. So the more the features a particular image has, the better it is for us to use it in our application, because an image with more features makes recognizing that particular image easier and a lot more efficient. So once that is done, all you need to do is download the database, and you need to select a development platform. Since ours is Unity Editor, we're going to click Unity Editor and download it. So once your image targets are downloaded, they'll get imported to your Unity Editor simply. And this is the basic working of Vuforia.
The next key feature for our app deployment is Visual Studio. So before opening Visual Studio, what are we using Visual Studio for? We are using Visual Studio for deploying the application to the HoloLens device. So we need to generate a solution file to open it in Visual Studio, and that is to be done from Unity. So for that, these are the following steps. So just click on File, build settings, and then in the build settings, the first thing which you have to do is add all the open scenes. So if you see your scenes here, then you don't need to, but if there are not any scenes, then you just have to click on add open scenes. The next thing which we have to check is the platform that we are building for. As we are building for HoloLens, which supports Universal Windows Platform application, so we have to choose Universal Windows Platform. The next thing which we have to check before building our solution is the target device that we are building for. As we are building specifically for HoloLens, just choose HoloLens from the drop down, and after that just click on build. It will ask you where to save the build. Let's stay in an organized way and create a new folder called app. Select folder, and after to start building, and it will take some time to build a solution file. Let's wait it to get finished. Now when the build finishes, get this project folder open, and now open the folder app that we had created, and look for the solution file or .sln extension file. Double click on this file to open it in Visual Studio. Now this is the Visual Studio through which we are going to deploy our application which we have built from Unity to the device. Let's look at what all options do we have and how we can deploy our application to HoloLens. First you need to set this to release and change the platform to x86. Now we can deploy our app in two ways. First is through USB and second is through Wi-Fi. So first let's see how we can deploy our application through using USB. For that, connect the device through USB and select device. So basically you're setting the deployment target to device, and then select start without deploying from the debug window, and the application will be deployed on HoloLens. The second way to deploy is through Wi-Fi, and to do that you just need to change deployment method to remote machine. If you ask for IP address, you will have to enter the IP address of HoloLens, and if the pop-up doesn't appear, just go to the debug properties, debugging, and then in the machine name add the IP address here. Then click on OK, and whenever you're ready, just click on remote machine. Let's click on remote machine and see how our application looks like on HoloLens. So this is how the application will look on HoloLens. Let's just launch it, and first we'll get to see the Vuforia engine logo, which confirms that we are using Vuforia in our application. Then we'll get option to choose how we want our 3D model to be shown. As we have uploaded image target, so let's just choose image target option, and now the next step is to make the image target to be recognized by HoloLens. And as soon as the image target is recognized, the 3D model that was superimposed on it is now in space. Now you can perform operations like transform, which we are doing right now, then rotate it in any way which you want, and the next and you can also actually scale it down, or just move it, or just scale it up. Once you are comfortable with your settings by rotating, scaling and transform, you can just move around the model and just have a look how it looks, as this is a symmetrical structure and will look same from every angle, but there might be certain compounds which might look different from any other way. So in that case, viewing it from another angle would be beneficial. And the next thing which we have done is, rather than just showing the 3D model, we have also added a tooltip which shows some much more information about the 3D model. For example, this is the 3D model of methane, and the tooltip contains all the information about methane. And that's it in our project. Thank you for watching our video.